Hi, I'm Jayda, Edie, and I'm here with Brett Eubank. What matters most to you about living here?
I suppose what matters most to me, what I really do enjoy about the community is a lot of it's the size. I mean, it's a community, it's big enough that you do have opportunities here, but it's also small enough, you know your neighbors, you know the people in town, you see somebody at the grocery store, you're waving hi to them because you've seen them before, and you know who they are. And so there is that kind of sense of community with people that, that I really do enjoy. Because me growing up, I actually did grow up in a very small town, so I really do like that feeling.
Okay, and what do you love about our community?
I do like about the community, I do like it that, there's plenty of stuff to do. We have the Wilson Performing Arts Center, we have the YMCA, as far as grocery shopping, we have a couple different choices there. So I do like that. It's a good size, it's not too big, not too small, so those are probably the things I enjoy the most.
What is your level of volunteerism in our community?
I would like to say I'm probably more involved than the average person. I know a lot of it kind of revolves around the school with what I do and also athletics. I've kind of been in charge of the JVA, the Jordan Houseville Athletic Association. Been doing that for probably at least, 13 years, 14 years doing youth football, and also I helped do youth wrestling for a long time, baseball. Now we've taken softball. I know I've volunteered plenty for like athletic events here at the high school, being at scoreboards or working basketball games or track meets or football games and stuff like that. So, I've always liked to have been plugged in the community. Just kind of when I grew up, my parents were kind of the same way, very plugged in. So I just knew that wherever I landed, after college, moving here about 30 years ago, that I wanted to be involved in the community.
What do you wish you could find in our community that isn't already available?
Some of it is, when I first moved here, there was a lot of retail that actually was available. There were a lot of shoe stores, clothing stores, a lot more restaurants. I just kind of realized just how the economy has changed. Eveready battery plant used to be here. We've lost several factories just over time. Some of it's just, economics of the state. Pretty much everywhere in the entire state of Iowa, if you're not next to an urban area, you're losing population, you're losing opportunities. So I guess if I could just pick kind of one thing, kind of when we had either Kmart or Pomida or Shopco, just kind of that general stuff that you could get. I know some has been replaced a little bit with general store, with a dollar store, but some you just kind of wish there was a little bit more there, so you wouldn't have to say drive down to Target or something like that up in Council Bluffs.
Yeah. How does the educational system benefit all ages in our community?
Well, I think the Red Oak school system, I think we are a pretty good size. I guess full disclosure, I do teach in the district myself, but I think it's one of those school systems that it's big enough that you actually do have plenty of opportunities, different classes that you can take, and even kind of the one that you guys are doing right now that you're interviewing me for. But it's also not too big that students get lost and that people can't get involved and feel like they kind of get lost in the shuffle because the classes are so big. So I actually think it is a pretty good size. And it also is nice as far as full educational levels that we do have Southwestern Community College has a satellite center here. So for those would kind of get an advance on kind of maybe transferring into schools, larger universities or a degree, are able to get some of that stuff here without leaving town.
And how do you think it could be improved?
Well, I think it's one of those things you always want to have more opportunities. I know we've expanded a little bit with the building trades program where kids have an opportunity to learn some of those skills, as far as the non-traditional college occupations that are out there. And I think that's good. There probably needs to be a little bit more of that. Some of that is also getting the community involved and making sure there's buy-in from the community. That way, when their children are getting a little older, they're kind of pushing their children into those areas and kind of take advantage of those opportunities that are out there. Because it is kind of a two-way street. You can offer the opportunities, but if no one's going to take advantage of them, they tend to go away. Then people complain, well, where's the opportunities? Well, because you weren't taking advantage of them before. So there needs to be a good balance of that. And I think once you can strike that balance, it's good for everyone involved.
If you could tell a new parent or student something about our school system, what would you want them to know?
I suppose the things that I'd want, new students, new parents to know is kind of there are opportunities. You think that, oh, it's a smaller school and stuff like that. there are plenty of opportunities, especially for a school this size, be it plenty of different sports opportunities, you know, extracurriculars, FFA, there's a lot of, you know, some of the shop classes that we have, even media classes, you know, like this one here. But you have to search them out. You know, they're not necessarily going to find you. You have to kind of take that first step to see what's out there. Make sure you do get involved, because when you do get involved, you know, students are much more successful when they're involved in extracurricular activities. So just kind of for parents to kind of make sure they're kind of encouraging, I don't know if push is the right word, but just encouraging their kids to, you know, get involved with that. And I think just when you start doing that, it's easier to make friends, you know, and build relationships that way. And so I think it's just easier for kids to really plug into the school, and the parents kind of help them through that.
Yeah. How do the organizations in our community work together?
Well, there are plenty of civic organizations here in town. I know the Optimist is one of them, and you have several others. I think they do work pretty well together, because I know, and it's just like this in many towns, that you know, you have a small percentage of the people who are really plugged in, involved with everything. And so because there isn't as many people there, there's so many people that actually are in several of these organizations. And I think because of that, they tend to work together, because a lot of them are the same people, or they're good friends. They might have gone to high school together, you know, or just been involved in one organization, so they know what this one's doing and that one's doing, so it's easier for them to kind of pool their resources together. So I think for the most part, most of the organizations do work well together. And so I think that is kind of a benefit of having kind of a slightly smaller community.
Thank you for your involvement in our community.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the interview, and hopefully this is helpful going forward.